Picture this. A sea of officials kneeling in the Grand Imperial Hall, the ceremonial officer yelling, "Kneel! Bow!" And in the middle of it all stands our clueless hero, Shu Yanmiao, just trying to follow along like a confused extra in a historical drama. He kneels, he bows, and then curiosity strikes. He peeks ahead and, oh no, all he can see is the perky butt of the official in front of him. His brain goes, "Wait, do you get promoted based on backside shape now?" Instantly, the hall fills with awkward coughing. 7, 8 people choking on thin air while the emperor's still right there. Shu Yanmiao has no idea what's happening. He just thinks everyone suddenly caught a cold. Meanwhile, the emperor, rumored to be temperamental, simply says, "The capital's colder these days. Everyone take care." Everyone else? Terrified. Sweating buckets. One guy's literally crying. And Shu Yanmiao, bless his innocent soul, turns and asks, "Brother, are you all right?" The man whispers through tears, "Don't you think His Majesty still looks so young and vigorous?" Shu Yanmiao's like, sure," while internally screaming, "Sir, he's 63. Who are you trying to fool?" The meeting continues. Serious ministers debating policies, shaping the nation's future, and Shu Yanmiao's just standing there thinking, when will I rise to greatness? 5 seconds later, actually, I'm starving. Maybe greatness can wait. So what does our man do? He opens his system, basically a gossip app for royal drama, and immediately finds pure gold. The emperor took a 16-year-old concubine last night. She used to be the crown grandson's mistress, and now the crown grandson has barged into the emperor's harem. Shu Yanmiao's reading like it's a live tweet thread. "Oh, spicy, where's the video?" Completely unaware that everyone around him is trembling again. He finally looks up and, surprise, everyone's back on their knees. Why? Because the emperor just stormed off to the harem to catch them in the act, and the entire court collectively thinks, caught by you, of all people. Meanwhile, Shu Yanmiao's standing there like, wait, did I miss something? The palace that morning was too quiet, until suddenly, "Ah! Your Highness, don't do this." And then, "Ajahn, my Ajahn, come back to me." Inside the rock garden, it was less imperial peace and more palace passion. Outside, the emperor's face turned darker than burnt charcoal. The eunuchs behind him, pretending to be dead men walking. "Drag them out!" The command exploded like thunder. Eunuchs dove in like soldiers charging a battlefield. And soon out came 2 half-dressed people, the crown grandson and his not-so-innocent lover, Qinzhen. The crown grandson stammered, "Gee, grandfather." The emperor just glared, raised his hand, smack! That royal slap sent him rolling across the floor, tooth and dignity both gone. "Beast, that's your grandmother!" the emperor roared. The poor crown grandson clutched his face. "She was mine first. You took her from me," the emperor sneered. "The entire realm is mine, not just women, even you, if I wanted." Yeah, even the eunuchs wanted to disappear at that one. Then came the royal decree. Strip him. Throw him into a prison cart. The crown grandson froze, staring at the man who'd once spoiled him. But before he could protest, Qinzhen rushed forward, clutching the emperor's robes, crying, "Your Majesty, it was all my fault. I seduced him. Please don't punish him." The crown grandson wailed, "Ajahn." The emperor stared down coldly, no pity at all. Then she shouted the one line that silenced heaven and earth, "Your Majesty, I'm pregnant with the crown grandson's child." The emperor almost fainted, because this wasn't just a green hat anymore, it was a green dynasty. Meanwhile, in court, our clueless 9th-rank official Shu Yanmiao was having the time of his life, scrolling through his mysterious gossip system. Whoa, Qin Guiran is pregnant with the crown grandson's baby? If the emperor hadn't caught them, he'd be raising someone else's kid. He's munching on a cold bun while mentally narrating royal scandals, unaware that everyone in court can hear his thoughts. The other ministers are sweating, whispering, "Brother, stop. We'll all die for this gossip." But Shu Yanmiao's too deep into the drama. How did they meet? Oh, he fell off a cliff, she saved him, he flirted, she ran, he chased, she became a dancer, and boom, the emperor stole her away. Man, what a script. The ministers can't help themselves. The minister of war even pops candy in his mouth, muttering, "Better than the opera." But right as the story's heating up, Shu Yanmiao takes another bite of his bun. Everyone mentally screams, "Finish the gossip first." Then cough. Someone chokes. Shu freezes. Wait, is the emperor back? Everyone stiffens like stone statues. A few seconds later, false alarm. The Minister of Rights whispers, Oh, right. He doesn't even know we can hear him. The whole court collectively, we're doomed. Cut to the royal chambers. The emperor's still fuming. Empress, you wouldn't believe that ungrateful brat. He slept with my woman. The empress massages his temples calmly. And what will you do, your majesty? Throw him in the dungeon. As for that woman, once she gives birth, I'll execute her. The empress's hand freezes. Your majesty, why not send her to a temple instead? Let her shave her head and live as a nun. The emperor growls. You call that punishment? But eventually he agrees, barely, and storms back to court, still boiling inside. Now he's back on the throne, raging at every little thing. Shu Yan Miao, at the very back, quietly praying, Bro, we didn't make you a cuckold. Why are you yelling at us? The whole court silently agrees. And that, my friends, is how one hungry low-rank official accidentally became the live narrator of the biggest palace scandal of the great Xia dynasty, while the emperor lost his temper, his grandson, and his dignity. All before lunch. The morning court was a mess. Everyone avoided looking at the emperor, staring at the floor, the ceiling, or even the sky, anything but him. The old emperor's veins were popping. His chief eunuch almost fainted. What made him this angry? Then it clicked. Shu Yanmiao. That tiny, chaotic official whose thoughts could be heard by anyone with a seal. Meanwhile, Shu Yanmiao was happily thinking to himself, the king of Nanyue is planning a rebellion? He's contacting Minyue and Dongye? Bold move. The emperor ground his teeth but tried to stay calm. Officials, for your hard work this year, you will each get 2 taels of winter vegetables. Cue shocked gasps. Winter vegetables? Rare, fancy vegetables, now going to low-level officials. Shu Yanmiao knelt, accepted the sad-looking leaves, and said nothing. Around him, one official fainted. Another quietly whispered, How do I even eat this? But Shu Yanmiao's mind was far away. Hot pot, thin slices of lamb, meatballs, spicy chili oil, sesame oil, garlic paste. Yes, yes, yes. The emperor, watching him, muttered, This Shu Yanmiao, he really knows how to enjoy life. After the court, Shu Yanmiao thought it was back to boring paperwork. Nope. His name was called. Shu Yanmiao, Ministry of Personnel, present yourself. Blinking, he straightened his robes and passed all the officials, some looking at him like they'd seen a ghost. Even Prime Minister Du quietly nodded. Don't mess this up, kid. Inside the Wuying Hall, the emperor wasn't working. He was waiting for entertainment. Shu Yanmiao joined the ministers for a meal and found tofu, green vegetables, and noodles staring at him. Shu Yanmiao thought, seriously? No meat? Then, surprise! Hot pot cauldrons appeared. Steam hissed, smells filled the room, and Shu Yanmiao's eyes lit up. 2 pounds of beef and lamb, thin slices, more charcoal, chili, garlic, sesame oil. Don't skimp, he commanded. Ministers scrambled. The emperor peeked over, muttering, This one is entertaining and obsessed with food, perfect. Meanwhile, the palace was buzzing with whispers about executions, Princess Wanshou dramatically yelling, and all sorts of royal drama. But Shu Yanmiao? Lost in hot pot heaven. Dip the lamb, cook the meatballs. Add pork, chicken, yes. The emperor's anger melted into amusement. For once, the court was alive with laughter, chaos, and the delicious smell of hot pot. And Shu Yanmiao, oblivious, happy, and completely in his own little world. 9 generations? The prince consort's heart skipped a beat. Uh-oh, big trouble. But he quickly tried to act cool, gripping the princess's chin like a king of the world. Who do you think you are? This is a countryside estate, not your cozy palace room. You die here? I just say you tripped off a cliff. Poof! No one will ever know. You're not the empress's daughter, so his majesty won't even blink. Cough, cough, cough! Princess Wanshou flailed, smacking him, but the heartless prince consort tightened his grip like he had a sale on jawbones. Your Highness, he said coldly, smirking, you've been taking Gigi's place too long. Time to give it back. Bang! The door flew open. A flying wine jug whizzed straight at his forehead. Ouch! The prince consort staggered, holding his head like it was on fire. Porcelain shards scratched his face, needle pain galore. He couldn't decide whether to protect his head or his pride. Princess Wanshou collapsed dramatically on the floor, her arms like wet noodles. Father! She gasped. And there he was, Emperor Tiantong himself, striding in like a storm, followed by the Prime Minister and 6 ministers, calm, collected, and judging him silently. Prince Consort, legs turned to jelly. Your Majesty, he stammered. Sweat and panic radiated off him in waves. Why is the emperor here? Why bring ministers? Did he know I was about to off my wife? Shu Yanmiao, watching quietly, thought, so this is the famous prince consort? The genius poet scholar? Looks okay, but wow, what a scumbag. Every cruel act of his, hurting Princess Wanshou, rolling in bed with concubines, forcing her to beg for official positions, made the emperor's fury roar louder. Finally, the emperor yelled, "Guards, drag this villain out, behead him, and anyone in his household who knew and stayed quiet, executed too. His brothers share the punishment. His father sent to the frontier, stripped of his duke title, his mother turned into a commoner." Lu Yi, the prince consort, tried to stand tall, smooth face on, but sweat, fear, and panic betrayed him. "My crime? I was just instructing my wife," he said, desperately pointing at Princess Wanshou. The emperor raised an eyebrow. "Instructing?" Princess Wanshou, jaw aching, whispered weakly, "Father, please, Yilang was just angry. He didn't mean to hurt me." The emperor froze. Lu Yi's smug little smile tried to hold up, thinking she still cares about me. But Shu Yanmiao's thoughts? Wow, manipulated much? She's begging for him. He's literally eating, flirting, and being lazy while she suffers. Total scumbag. Beep. The emperor glanced at Shu Yanmiao and smirked. Plans forming. "Wanshou," he said suddenly, calling his daughter's attention. Tears still in her eyes, Princess Wanshou looked up. "I grant you the position of Assistant Minister of the Ministry of Revenue. Go start your duties immediately." "What?" she gasped. The ministers gasped too. Prime Minister Do opened his mouth. But, clicked shut by the emperor's stare. Princess Wanshou instantly realized what her father was doing. This was a clever way to trap the prince consort. He had no authority to hold office. "Gotcha, Dad," she whispered. "I accept your decree." The emperor patted her head, chuckling. "Good child. As for men, I'll help you find someone better." "No, father! No," she cried, shaking her head. "Yilang is innocent. I forced him. I insisted on marrying him. If not for me..." Beep, Shu Yanmiao's invisible commentary chimed in again. "Forced marriage, manipulation, royal chaos. Wow, this palace is dramatic." Then a soft, flawless voice floated in. Smooth, clear, impossible to ignore. The princess looked, startled, at a group of handsome older men and one young man standing behind. Wait, his lips weren't moving. Ventriloquism? The princess blinked, trying to focus. Men can be that handsome? And he's not even talking? The emperor leaned in, whispering to her, "Listen closely to Shu Yanmiao's words. He's loved and hated, all at once." Princess Wanshou froze. "Father, is this what you want me to hear?" The emperor nodded slightly, secretly thrilled. Shu Yanmiao had just called out the scumbags, and the emperor loved it. Meanwhile, the princess realized, yes, palace life was wild, messy, and sometimes hilarious. But hot mess or not, her father had it all under control.